Well, before the plane takes off, I should probably give context to where we are going. We're headed to Japan. Reagan and I have been pumped for this trip for a very long time, and I wanted to make these string of videos as a way to remember our trip there, just to put something together just for us to have to remember what it was like to go to Japan in January of 2025. And this PowerPoint serves two purposes. First, I just want to say how we prepped, what we're doing, all that fun stuff. And second, this is a really low budget way to compensate if I didn't film enough on the first 2 days, just to pad out the runtime of this video. But I wouldn't forget to do that. I got a brand new phone with a brand new camera. Why would I forget to film on the first 2 days? Anyways, what are we doing? First, the meetup. Because if you haven't noticed, I'm traveling alone right now. My Orlando to Tokyo experience is just me. So where in the world is Reagan? She's kind of already there. She is already in Asia. She has been in Singapore visiting a friend for the past couple of days, and we are going to meet up in Tokyo together. You know, it's funny that Reagan left Orlando for the only other place in the world that relates in humidity and rain. So I hope she had a very, very good time over there. But I will be meeting her on the morning of the 14th. Sorry, time is weird when going to Japan. And I will be leaving from Newark, which I really, really hope I make my connecting flight, because I think I have 45 minutes, and I'm picturing it to be very low stress and carefree, and I'll know exactly how to navigate Newark. So the plan. We're only going to be in Japan for about a week, and we really want to make the most of it. Like, this is not going to be vacation chill time. This is going to be sicko mode. We're just running and gunning. We're going to make the most of it. The older you get, you kind of learn there's a difference between a trip and a vacation, and this is definitely a trip. So, what are we doing? First, we're going to be in Tokyo for a few days, get used to the jet lag, kind of walk around, explore the biggest city on the planet, and then we are going to head east to Japan's cultural capital of Kyoto. A little bit more laid back, chill. We're staying in a traditional townhouse. We're going to go visit a bathhouse, hopefully a little bit more relaxing from Tokyo, and where we're going next. Next, we're going to Osaka, which is the nightlife capital of Japan and the third largest city in the entire country. So Kyoto will be a nice rest in the middle of these two things. And then lastly, we are headed back to Tokyo for our last couple of days to hit anything we missed, anything we added to our itinerary while we were there before we fly out to go back home. The prep. How have we prepped for this? Well, there's something you should probably know about me. I, along with many other men my age, suffer from a condition. It's a very serious condition called Place Japan. And hopefully this graphic I'm putting up on the screen explains the condition quite well. You see, people with Place Japan syndrome suffer from symptoms of thinking that everything, even the most mundane, minute thing in Japan, is just better. So, a lot of the prep has just me going, oh, that thing that I've always wanted to go to, I get to go there now. So first and foremost, a lot of the research has just been YouTube. We've been watching people who live in Japan, like Abroad in Japan, CDawg VA, and seeing what they do, where they go, and just making a massive list on Google Docs. And then we weeded through it later on to make sure things could actually be attainable on this trip. Second was this book. This book was a gift from my mother-in-law for Christmas, And this book has been a really interesting way to prepare going to Japan that I've been reading. It's a book written by Japanese seniors in college about hard to understand Japanese cultural concepts. And it's just been a fascinating kind of background read to going to a very, very foreign country from what I'm used to. And then lastly, there was The Bird. This one. You know, since I very physically stick out when I travel places, I'm just a tall, gangly guy. I try to do as much as I can to make sure I'm not culturally sticking out. I want to create as little cultural friction as possible. So unfortunately, I turned to The Bird to learn a little bit of Japanese. And this green homicidal maniac wanted all of my money to teach me Japanese. And I refused to give him even a dime. And you know what, I will say, Duolingo does have some helpful things in preparing to go on a 7-day trip to Japan. It also has a mountain of unhelpful things. People don't want to hear about my chores. I don't want to hear about my chores. Just tell me how to get around a train station. But there was some helpful things. I learned how to read characters and know how to get around, ask basic questions, so it wasn't all bad. And then lastly, goals. I have some goals for this trip. I know Reagan has some goals for this trip, so this is them. So, 4 goals. The first one is this video. You know, since this is such a big trip for us and we really want to remember it, I really wanted to commit myself to filming a bunch and putting all of that down into a big video, editing it together, documenting what it was like. Because, you know, in a few years, all of our brains are just going to be microplastic amalgamations anyways. So it would be nice to have a digital memory of this trip that I can put on the internet. Because as we all know, the internet's not going anywhere. Second, try foods. I am a recovering picky eater. And if you listen really closely, you can hear Reagan laughing all the way from Singapore that I think that I'm not anymore. But I promise, I've gotten better. I mean, in the past 3 years, I've eaten my body weight in sushi in Orlando. So I'm excited to see what in Japan they have that I can't really get here and just try what people recommend. I think it'll be a great exercise. Third, and this is selfish, and I know that it is, but I've come to terms with that, so you have to as well. I want to hear this phrase. This phrase is Nihongo Jozu, which is what someone would say to you if your Japanese is proficient. I know how selfish that sounds, but you have to understand. If I hear this phrase, that means that I won. That means that the bird failed. All the blood, sweat, and tears that I've poured into that app, and I didn't give it a single dime. No more telling me that my streak's almost over. Hey, you should hop on the app. I won. I heard the phrase. I heard the Nihongo Jozu. I won and the bird lost. And then pictures. I would love to take some pictures with Reagan. The pictures in our apartment are kind of 5 years old, so it'd be really nice to have new, up-to-date pictures that show what our life is like now, and what better place to take beautiful pictures together with your loved one than, say it with me, Place Japan. And speaking of Place Japan, I think my 14-hour flight is about to take off, so we should probably go back over to that. All right, well, guess who literally just did the thing that he said he wasn't just going to do? Yeah, so I didn't film basically anything at the airport, landing or meeting up with Reagan or finding our way to our hotel. So enjoy just some fun things that I saw in the airport that I took pictures of and us walking to the hotel.
Yo, we travel, man. It's like that. You know, as a rise from the underground, destinations are known like a feather, going where.